number of COVID-19 cases continues to rise globally and right here in Guyana. Therefore, we encourage everyone to practice social distancing, wear a mask if you have to leave your homes, and wash your hands thoroughly and frequently as we strive to stop the spread of the virus. Welcome to Info Hub for Friday, August 7. Thanks for joining us. We begin with a congratulatory message to President Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of Nicaragua. His Excellency Daniel Ortega Saavedra has sent a fraternal embrace to His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali on being elected President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. In a letter signed by President Ortega and Vice President and First Lady of Nicaragua, Rosario Murillo, the Guyanese head of state was told he had the affection of the Nicaraguan people as well. The Nicaraguan president described Dr. Ali's ascension to office as a historic occasion and urged that both governments continue working in favor of peace and well-being of their people. Nicaragua and Guyana established diplomatic ties in November 1981. The government of Cuba has also sent a congratulatory message to President Ali on his ascension to government. In a letter sent to the head of state by President of the Republic of Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel Bermudez, Dr. Ali's electoral win was lauded and supported. The Cuban president said the occasion was an auspicious one and expressed the will to continue strengthening the friendship and cooperation between the two countries. The government of His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali has hit the ground running, appointing ministers of government and meeting with the relevant agencies and bodies as they seek to begin work in propelling Guyana forward. Today, the president also held his first cabinet meeting. The nation was briefed by Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, the Honorable Gail Teixeira.
Everyone is busy having briefing sessions and familiarization. Today, we'll have our first cabinet meeting as the new government, and this is where some major decisions I'm sure will be made to allow for expediting the transition of our government.
Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, the Honorable Gail Teixeira. The minister said while strictly adhering to COVID-19 regulations, His Excellency President Mohamed Irfan Ali has had meetings with stakeholders across the board, and at the moment is awaiting reports from a rapid assessment team on the status of various government agencies. That team, she clarified, is working pro bono.
It's a rapid assessment team to give the President, in the shortest possible time, an assessment of key state agencies. And I'm sure you, the viewers, know that one of the key ones, of course, is NISL, where a lot of state assets have been transferred, have been purchased in the period since the no confidence motion and even during the period of the 5 months waiting for the election results. So we want a rapid assessment. And so this is not an audit. Certainly if an audit is a different process. This is just to present to the government and the President a quick overview of the state of these critical agencies in government.
Meantime, on comments made by former President David Granger of witch hunting perpetrated by the current government and of persons being dismissed and treated badly, Minister Teixeira said this is exaggerating and misinforming the public.
First of all, let me make it clear. No one has been terminated or fired. No one has received a letter terminating or firing them. As you well know, ministers automatically lose their jobs when a government changes. And so on August the 2nd, when the results were declared at that time in the afternoon, ministers no longer had a job. And as per norm in parliamentary democracies, ministers vacate their residence. I'm sure you've seen on British television, number 10 Downing Street, when the elections are held in Great Britain, and the Prime Minister, even before the results, knows that he's lost. And he walks out, he leaves, and the new guy walks in a matter of an hour or a day. This is what is considered honorable, decent, dignified, and democratic.
With regards to the two previous ministers of Indigenous Peoples Affairs who lived out of Georgetown, Minister Teixeira said they have been given a month to vacate the government quarters. Additionally, No request has been made for added time by any of the previous government ministers on this matter. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali earlier today met with Brazilian Ambassador to Ghana, Ms. Maria Clara Duclos Caricio, Chilean Ambassador to Ghana, Mr. Patricio Becker, and Argentine Ambassador to Ghana, Mr. Felipe Alejandro Gardea. The meeting took place at the office of the President. During the meeting, the ambassadors extended congratulations to President Ali and noted that they look forward to working with the new government to advance mutual interests. Now for some health news. The Ministry of Health, under the leadership of newly appointed Minister Dr. Frank Anthony, will be seeking to expand Guyana's testing capacity for COVID-19 as there is the need for widespread testing for the virus to ascertain the actual situation locally. Here's that report.
In expanding testing, some immediate actions are to be considered. Firstly, Minister Anthony said that the new government has already sought to address the issue of limited testing kits. This will eventually allow for a decentralized approach to having COVID-19 tests done. This means the ministry will have to build capacity for testing.
Why we need to decentralize is that it takes sometimes 8 days for somebody who tested positive or who had a swab done in Region 9 for that swab to get to Georgetown, then be tested at a reference lab, and the results get back to them. So if that person is positive and you have a turnaround time of 9 days or 8 days or whatever it is, that's too long because that person would have walked around and be in contact with a lot more people and infect them.
As part of the government's new approach to revamping the country's response to COVID-19, there is also the goal to have 500 test samples processed daily. The public health sector has the capacity to process 300 COVID-19 tests daily.
We want to collaborate. We've already engaged the private sector because they have PCR machines in their hospitals and so forth to get them to be involved in this effort. And we are hopeful that we can get the private sector to increase their capacity to about 200. So as a country, we'll have at least 500 tests per day that can be done.
It was noted that the country's current testing capacity in the health sector is at the level of the National Public Health Reference Laboratory. There is also a consideration for another method of testing to be used. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
Meanwhile, in the agriculture sector, newly appointed Minister the Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa says he will be taking a hands-on approach to resuscitate this vital sector. Here now is Neola Damon.
During a meeting with heads of agencies and other technical staff at the Ministry of Agriculture on Thursday, Minister Mustafa said that he is ready to work with his team of officers to ensure the sector makes a complete recovery, specifically highlighting the challenges facing the sugar industry. This includes addressing the current state of the fisheries sector. Within the last 5 years, we've seen extreme losses in the sugar industry. 4 sugar estates were closed and over 7,500 persons were displaced. Thousands of other persons lost their livelihoods, and the industry suffered damages that will take hard work and dedication to repair. I'm confident that this government will bring back the sugar industry, a promise made in the People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC manifesto. The newly appointed minister also said that he plans to work to further develop the rice and livestock industries, improve drainage systems and access to farmlands, and find new market opportunities for agro-processors and cash crop farmers, among others. Apart from what I have already mentioned, this government will also be revisiting some of the harsh systems put in place by the previous administration, such as the increase in land rates by the MMA ADA. The minister will have follow-up meetings with the heads of agencies to discuss putting policies in place to address how the agriculture sector will move forward as the country and the rest of the world continues to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. He is also eager to engage all stakeholders and private sector agencies to formulate policies to further strengthen the sector. Minister Mustafa emphasized that it is the responsibility of all heads of departments and agencies to work together to deliver the aims and objectives of the ministry for the benefit of all Guyanese. Neola Damon, InfoHub.
More news after this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Major infrastructural developments and cheap electricity are among the plans of new Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Bishop Juan Edgehill. Felicia Valenzuela brings us the details.
The new Minister of Public Works told InfoHub that his ministry will be moving swiftly towards achieving the new government's developmental agenda. He spoke of a transformation project to ease the burden of Guyanese, establishment of a new Demerara Harbour Bridge, as well as providing cheaper electricity.
We have to be able to provide reliable, renewable, and cheap electricity. We have to be able to realize our full potential in converting our gas into fuel onshore for the industrialization of our country to catapult manufacturing at cheaper costs.
The Public Works Minister said the security of the sea and river defences are also high on the ministry's list of plans. He spoke of a quick approach to rectifying the Linden to Lethem thoroughfare.
We have to be aggressively working on the East Bank, East Coast bypass. We have to be busy working on the New Quarantine Bridge. We have to open up interior roads, ensure that our interior airstrips are all serviceable to ensure safe commuting.
Road and traffic safety have also been highlighted as another area for immediate attention, as well as continued development of the country's airports. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
Minister of Human Services and Social Security, the Honorable Dr. Vinya Prasad, said that stringent measures will be enforced to address poverty among vulnerable groups. Here now is Ayana George.
This ministry is a very critical ministry, and the sector deals with people. So the ministry is people-oriented and people-centric, so I think the priority will always be people. Within the people community, there are many vulnerable groups, so I believe it is imperative that I focus on those that over some time would have been facing difficulties in key areas.
Newly appointed Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Honorable Dr. Vindhya Prasad. She further stated that pensions, benefits, and programs for the elderly will be looked at in efforts to improve their quality of life. The minister noted that women will be prioritized.
What I would like to do is work with women, develop more women leaders, ensure that women understand the need to be educated, empowered, have the opportunity to work if they so wish, have the skills set so that they can utilize those skill sets to not only earn an income but to develop themselves. And we want to ensure that there is a level playing field where women are concerned, because sometimes women feel a bit timid when it comes to taking the center stage and the platform. So I'm hoping that we can change this mindset.
Minister Prasad said her plan is to involve the community, various agencies, and the relevant stakeholders to bring about inclusivity.
Children, an asset for our country, children's safety and security. There are agencies that are very much important for the welfare and the well-being of children. So I would like to see those agencies enriched, better served, more resourced, and so we can have things that we always want to see, more counseling available in places like schools. So it requires inter-collaboration between ministries, and also ensuring that in communities mental health is looked at, and all the departments that have to deal specifically with children.
Matters related to juveniles, trafficking in persons, the National Insurance Scheme, and pension are also on the agenda. For InfoHub, Ayana George.
Guyana is one of 5 countries in the Caribbean to benefit from pre-manufactured housing units from the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. The international organization handed over 48 housing units to the Ministry of Health through the Civil Defense Commission to boost the regional capacity of the COVID-19 response in Guyana at the end of June. According to the CDC's Deputy Director, Major Loring Benon, the pre-manufactured units have been set up in 6 of the 10 administrative regions where an urgent need was identified. Region 1 benefited from 8 units, Region 3 1, Region 4 4, and Region 5 2. Most units, the CDC says, were set up in Region 7, receiving 11, and 20 being set up in Region 9. The remaining 2 will be set up in Region 8. But with the growing number of COVID-19 cases in Guyana, particularly in the hinterland regions, CDC Director General Lieutenant Colonel Kester Craig sees a need for more of these units. According to Lieutenant Colonel Craig, the pre-manufactured housing units are being managed by the Ministry's Health Emergency Operations Center. Remember to do your part to ensure you do not put yourself at risk during this time. If you have a cough, fever, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early, but call the hotline first. Here's a reminder that the official inauguration ceremony of the 9th Executive President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, will be held on Saturday at 10 a.m., so look out for the live broadcast. That's all for today. Connect with us on all our social media platforms, including WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, as we bring you the latest and important news related to COVID-19 and much more. Also, subscribe to our website, dpi.gov.gy. Your Bridge Report is up next. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.